The tallest buildings in the Twin Cities have nothing on the towering presence of the Big Ten Player of the Year, Zach Edey, who makes his Big Ten tournament debut for 2024 today.
They say these parts are the friendliest. Minnesota nice, they call it. But the time to play nice is over. Now, in the land of 10,000 lakes, it's time to sink or swim. A rugged gauntlet meant to push its participants to their brink.
That is big boy basketball.
A city known for its prince, looking to crown a king.
It all leads to this.
At the Big Ten tournament, whoever survives and advances, well, they'll be feeling quite nice after all.
The Big Ten Basketball Tournament on Big Ten Network is presented by TIAA. And here we go. What a matchup to start our day. The Michigan State Spartans and the Big Ten champions in the regular season, the Purdue Boilermakers. And today's the day we've been waiting for. Quarterfinal Friday, one of the best days in all of March. Michigan State, Purdue, Wisconsin, Northwestern, Ohio State, Illinois, and Indiana, Nebraska. And good morning from Minneapolis alongside my partner and friend Stephen Bardo. I'm Kevin Kugler, and this is what we've been waiting for, Stephen. The last four teams to make their debut. The top four seeds are on the court today.
Oh, it's going to be a great day of college basketball in this conference, and we got the best game of the day, in my opinion. Talking about one of the better teams in the country in Purdue, and who I think could be a surprise team in the NCAA tournament, the Michigan State Spartans, starting to round into shape.
Well, for Purdue, you know where it starts, right in the middle with the Big Ten Player of the Year, Zach Edey.
Well, Zach Edey, to me, is a poster child for what the NCAA should be all about. You come in as a young, gangly boy, you develop into a grown man. He's the best player in college basketball 2 years running. He could end up the best player in Purdue basketball history. I salute Zach Edey for his contribution to the sport, and I look forward to seeing him today.
Well, the front court is where you look for Purdue, but for Michigan State, all eyes on the backcourt, especially yesterday.
They did a great job. A.J. Hogarth did not miss a shot. They controlled tempo. They got the ball where they needed to, and they won going away.
Time to introduce you to the lineups. Let's send it to our public address announcer to handle those duties, Gene Honda.
Good morning and welcome to Game 7 of the 2024 TIAA Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament. Today's game features the Michigan State Spartans and the Purdue Boilermakers. It's now time for today's starting lineups, brought to you by TIAA, the proud title sponsor of the Big Ten Men's Tournament. At forward for Michigan State, a 6'8" graduate student from Aurora, Illinois, number 25, Malik Paul. At forward for Purdue, a 6'9" sophomore from Sellersburg, Indiana, number 4, Trey Kaufman-Wren. At center for Michigan State, a 6'11" sophomore from Jackson, Michigan, number 15, Carson Cooper. At center for Purdue, a 7'4" senior from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, number 15, Zach Edey. At guard for Michigan State, a 6'4" junior from Birmingham, Michigan, number 3, Jaden Akins. At guard for Purdue, a 6'4" sophomore from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 2, Fletcher Lawyer. At guard for Michigan State, a 6'4" senior from Coatesville, Pennsylvania, number 11, A.J. Hogarth. At guard for Purdue, a 6' sophomore from Westfield, Indiana, number 3, Braden Smith. At guard for Michigan State, a 6'1" graduate student from Westbury, New York, number 2, Tyson Walker. And at guard for Purdue, a 6'1" graduate student from Evanston, Illinois, number 55, Lance Jones. The head coach of Michigan State is Tom Izzo. And the head coach of Purdue is Matt Painter.
Your starting lineups are brought to you by Ram Trucks. You saw what the backcourt did for Michigan State yesterday. A.J. Hoggard and Tyson Walker along with Jaden Akins. Up front for Zach Edey, of course, all the accolades. But Braden Smith certainly deserves his fair share in that Purdue backcourt as well. Time to welcome in the third member of our crew as we say hello to Rick Pizzo.
Kevin, thank you very much. Matt Painter says his team is well aware of the enormity of the accomplishment at its doorstep, trying to become the second team ever to win the outright regular season and tournament titles in back-to-back years. But more importantly, Painter says it's time to forget about everything. Forget about the honors and awards. Forget about Zach Edey being two-time Big Ten Player of the Year. Forget about Braden Smith being all Big Ten first team, having his best game of the season against Michigan State 2 weeks ago. And most importantly, forget about the last postseason game the Boilermakers played that lost to Fairleigh Dickinson. Painter said this team is built differently, built better for a run through the postseason, built to bring home the Big Ten's first national championship since 2000. And perhaps not coincidentally, the last team to win, Michigan State, was the only other team to win the outright regular season and tournament titles in back-to-back years.
Well, and Stephen, I don't get the sense that Purdue is shying away from that talk of a national championship this year.
No, because you got to see it to believe it, and you got to speak it into existence. And the way that they played throughout the season, they certainly put themselves in that position.
Here's Braden Smith, one of the best point guards in college basketball, starting it off.